You are now tuned in to
Lamark After Dark.
All right, guys, we are back. Lamark After Dark episode. I don't fucking know. At this point, it just is what it is. But yeah, we have a special guest in the building, Mr. Lou Valentino. Welcome to Lamark After Dark.
Welcome.
I appreciate y'all for having me. Feels good to be here.
I feel like the last time we was together was like
2018, I remember.
Oh damn.
It was summer 2018. I still have some I have a picture of that on my favorites, so I constantly remember the time.
Oh,
so yeah, it was like I don't know how many years. That was 5 years ago.
Yeah. I think
That's a minute ago, bro. I was
so
like
much happened.
21. I'm 26 now, so yeah.
Okay, still a baby.
So we're all pretty much grown up ever since the last time I saw you. So yeah, it feels good to see you. And
Yeah,
you
man.
as well.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to
I've
meet
heard
you.
a lot about you. I've seen some of your videos, so I'm definitely intrigued to talk to you today.
I appreciate that. Well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, this show is about politics, and usually we don't really do politics here because, like,
messy.
It's definitely the most. I guess the most dividing thing in this country right now. Is definitely politics, but I think it's definitely the most intriguing and the most entertaining, in my opinion. Which is why I cover it. I cover it like just loosely, and I think it's just amazing that my whole life I didn't really. I guess I didn't really know much about politics, but I think that once you get to know some of the politics, that I think is it's just comedy. It's like the WWE. It's just pure entertainment, in my opinion.
all right.
With some with some serious residuals. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, glad you added that part.
nah, because it gets serious. But for me, like if you take it too serious, you will get too enrolled in it, and it would cause like too many problems in your personal life. So you got to separate the two. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely an entertaining source if you're looking at it from a fan or some people that you may watch. But overall, like to make it a career as a political commentator, you do have to separate all the different, like, you know what I'm saying, the serious topics, the not so serious topics. You know how to have fun with it, because if you don't have fun with it, then you're gonna be miserable, because it's very dark.
Yeah,
it is dark.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say too much about where I work because like I'm not trying to get fired, but a lot of that is in that, and yeah, I can understand. But let's get the theme music if I have that together so we can really start this debate and have a good time. Which crazy for you. We never use that fucking music.
That is amazing. I feel like I'm about to watch a baseball game right now. Lit.
Oh yeah, sports.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Lou, you have a lot of strong opinions on the internet. It's Rumble?
Yeah, Rumble. It's the shirt I got on right now. Actually.
So what is Rumble for people that don't know?
Rumble is a free speech platform. A lot of people are heading that way. It's kind of like the alternative to YouTube, only because a lot of people are being shut down. Either if you're from the left, center right, the right, super right, just for people that are getting banned unannounced. Right now, there's a YouTube purge going on with a lot of accounts. They're just getting banned, demonetized. So this is like what shows up, right, to for the rescue. So I would say that I'm a big believer in free speech. And yeah, Rumble to me is the future. So I'm definitely on Rumble. I'm still on YouTube. I honestly just got a strike like a few days ago. So I'm on day number 4 of serving a 2-week ban for a harmful conspiracy. So YouTube is
what conspiracy?
Yeah, give us the tea.
So do we want to dive into that right now? We could dive into that real quick. Real quick. So there's a movie called Sound of Freedom that just came out that is about child trafficking and stuff like that. And I made a couple videos about it. But in one particular video, I guess they found that it was a harmful conspiracy. Don't know to who, right? Because it was a video against child traffickers. And, there's child trafficking happening in the United States of America that a lot of people don't know about. So a lot of people, I guess the people that run YouTube, believe that it's a conspiracy, even though it's been proven. So there's nothing I could do. Their platform is a private company. They could do whatever they want. But, It is what it is.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard
I've heard of it too.
I've heard mixed things,
Yeah.
but I've definitely child trafficking is a very important issue. That is happening.
I mean, it's
America.
happening. I mean,
Yeah.
I think people are actually politicizing a movie that is based on a true story. They're calling it QAnon and making it right-wing conspiracy, when in reality it's truth. Like, these things are actually happening in our backyard, at our southern border, and I think that is the hard truth that people. I mean, sometimes it could be a mix of things. People really just don't want to talk about that, and which I understand. But then there's other people that know it exists and just flat out try to fight it, because it just turns out that right wingers made the movie. People that are on the right, and I think that in the United States of America, if you lean right, it's definitely going to get you canceled, and a lot of people don't want anything to do with you. So it could be a variety of things, but yeah, I think it exists, and I think that movie is very important. So
you were talking about freedom of speech, and so you feel like that is just something that everyone should kind of have. And like, I guess my question to you is, like, I know like everyone should have the the option to say how they feel.
Yeah.
What if that could be hurting someone? Do you feel like the world is just becoming too sensitive?
So I do believe in censorship. Obviously, I don't want like child pornography. Like, there is things that need to be censored. The problem is that these companies, and obviously, if you look at Twitter, right? Twitter, So Twitter, and I guess during the elections of the 2020 elections, there was a lot of censoring going on. A lot of they seem to have had an agenda, right? And if you look at Twitter Files, which is something that came out with Matt Taibbi, as soon as Elon Musk bought Twitter, he decided to have a bunch of journalists do digging as to what happened in the 2020 election, and why was Twitter censoring people so much. So there's censorship that is just taken to a whole nother degree when you don't agree with somebody. And when it's, and once again, like, everything is politicized in this space, because when it's election season, things like this just start to happen. Like right now, there's an actual YouTube purge. A lot of accounts are just disappearing for no reason, right? And YouTube has the right to do that, right? They have the right to censor whoever they want. They can make the rules. Like, this YouTube, they own it. The problem there is that, they're just becoming an echo chamber for the left, in my opinion, and I don't agree with it. But as far as going back to your original question, I do believe that censorship should exist. I just think that when a platform leans either too right or too left, it could become a problem. Just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Right.
Chelsea, do you have any things about freedom of speech before I get into
No,
the
I
LGBTQ?
definitely do agree with freedom of speech, but it's a little tricky, like you said. Like, there are certain topics that once people don't agree with it, even if you might not be against that person, but any slight disagreement is like a big level of sensitivity, because now the whole world is able to have an opinion. So I do think censorship is important, especially for younger people who are still developing their opinions and learning about what's going on in the world.
But in my opinion, I'm fuck censorship. Like, in my opinion, when it comes to the extreme censorship that the platforms like Facebook and all these people, they just have an agenda to censor. Like, okay, this is what we're censoring. We're censoring this, and this, and it's just more like, oh, that's politics. Like, that has nothing to do with like extreme nudity. I mean, there's a lot of things that don't get censored. Like right now on YouTube, there's a guy shaving his asshole, right? And it's just
the narrator.
You know what I'm talking about.
I-
Like, this guy is, excuse my
Chelsea,
language, but
please.
his balls are just straight up there. His asshole's there. Kids can see it. It's not censored, right? Sam Smith can go and he can, get pissed on, and all these different things happen on the platform.
Wait.
And
Sam Smith getting pissed on.
Well, Sam Smith,
Yeah,
what I'm saying is that these videos, right, that YouTube allows and all these other platforms they allow like vulgar, they allow cussing, they allow all these different things that are not PG-13, right? Because you have to rate a video. So on these videos, everyone has access to it, all ages. So it's more like, oh, okay, so I can't speak about certain things, but these people, they could just be degenerates and, promote this craziness, right? Because I don't know if you've seen the Sam Smith video. You could pull it up. You know what I'm saying? I got proof.
Wow, I know I have.
This guy was tweaking. Like, he had, grown men doing crazy stuff. And all I'm saying is, if that's eligible for anyone under the age of 16, 14 or whatever, 13, like, then you know it. Like, in my opinion, you put two and two together. This is like, there's no censorship for that, but there's censorship for what I'm saying. Oh, so you guys like don't care about grown men doing crazy shit like this, and you don't care about this, you know, Lil Nas dancing on the devil, but you care about me saying something about politics, then it's obvious that you don't want to censor extreme stuff, you know, that could harm kids in the future. You want to censor something that I said about politics. So, this censorship, put two and two together, this has to do with politics. It doesn't have to do with anything trying to do the right thing. If you was trying to do the right thing, then you would censor a lot more things that are accessible to kids that shouldn't, in my opinion. But
yeah, no.
once again, this is all my opinion.
Yeah,
this is why I go to
yeah.
Rumble.
Yeah.
You know, you canceled.
I mean, no, I do feel like you should be able to express yourself like that. Shouldn't just like how I feel about the Lil Nas. Like I like that video, so I feel like that should be. Like I feel like that should be the Lil Nas X video.
Call Me by Your Name.
Like that. I feel like that.
I love his music. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do. I'm a fan of Sam Smith's music too. But I'm just saying, like, as far as what we're gonna censor, you just censor me.
No,
like,
I feel like everything should be on there. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like, anybody can see that. Okay, cool. But why can't they see my video? Like, what's wrong with what I'm saying? And then you just, once again, you line up all the different people that are getting banned. They're all people that are saying the same thing as me. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So you guys have the agenda to make sure that whatever it is that we're saying doesn't get said. Okay, cool.
Okay.
But there's just people, you know, and they happen to be on the left or happen to be super liberal that believe that that's not happening. And it is. It's been proven, in my opinion. So
I like that in my opinion.
right.
Because I always tell people, like, yo, this is just my opinion, by the way. Like, and I try to tell YouTube that, like, you know, it's just my opinion. I'm not saying that this is a super fact. There's sometimes it could seem that way, and I can see why. Some things may be too much for YouTube, but you go to the comparisons to everything else that's allowed on the platform. I mean, you have a guy with his bunhole out. I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Like, any kid could just see that, and it's just it's considered educational. Like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Like, you can have there's videos that I've had on YouTube that have a age consent. Like, you have to be of an age to watch it, right? So why can you do that to those type of videos? Why is it that anybody?
I think the author has to do that because I know for us we had to like put the first season. A lot of them on 18 plus.
Oh yeah,
because that's what.
No, they did it for me.
Oh, they did it for you.
Yeah, they do it for you.
Oh,
no, YouTube YouTube. Yeah, they do it for you. Like, they were like, oh, we're gonna yellow mark this video, which is limited for advertisers, because usually every video that I post is green, which is, you know, it passed everything. Usually when you post a video on YouTube, I'm monetized, so everything I post, you know, I get paid for. So you have to go through checks, right? For, like, you know, for a few minutes, this robot does a check, and if they pick up something that they don't like, then they'll yellow mark it. It'll become limited, and then you have to submit a review for a human to whoever works for YouTube that's actually a human. And most of the time, it takes like a few days for them to make it green. By that time, the video that I made, you know, it's already done getting the climax views. So by the time it's green, I didn't make any money from it. So I think that, once again, I'm not just dealing with that. It's a lot of other people, but these are things that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, they happen on a lot of platforms. So
yeah, I hear that.
That's why Rumble, in my opinion, is important.
Okay. So moving on to the next case. So the LGBTQ agenda.
Would you say it's an agenda?
I mean, I feel like it's not, but you know, this can go different ways. I know I saw your video on the Joe Rogan, and I saw about a pastor about the whole Pride Month situation. So I will let you go first about how you feel.
What video was that?
It was something about Joe Rogan about Pride Month, and it was something about
with him and Theo Vaughn.
Yeah,
we're talking about Dylan Mulvaney and stuff like that.
Yeah. But before we get to that, I just want like your opinion on like the whole LGBTQ agenda.
I mean, I've been throughout the years, like, I was a BLM supporter. I was, you know, I don't consider myself an enemy. I just feel like, you know, there's just things about the LGBTQ that are just getting out of hand. And I think that, once again, you censor me, but you don't censor a lot of the things that's going on over here. So it becomes a lot of that for me. But as far as the LGBTQ, like, I don't think that there could be an agenda, right? This will be like a conspiracy theory, because there have been a lot of conspiracy theories that have popped up. But I just believe that I don't support the LGBTQ movement of today. Like, I know what it was before, but like today, there's like a whole bunch of pronoun uses and different things being added, and kids on puberty blockers, right? And by kids, I mean like under 18. And there's just a bunch of things I don't support that they're pushing for, right? And there's also like a lot of people on like that were a part of the LGBT that are gay, that they don't even support the LGBTQ. So in my opinion, like I don't have any hatred toward any gay person. Like
I don't think you have hatred. I wouldn't invite you if
but people in the comments, they like, oh, this is like a dog whistle for like, homophobia. Like, bro, I just don't agree with what's going on. Like,
I don't think you have hatred, but I do think people that maybe like that follow you may not have the same views.
No, I agree with that.
See what I'm saying?
I
so
definitely agree with that.
So you might not be throwing the ball, but you're at the game.
Right. You're giving them an
agree
inch,
with
but
that.
they're taking
Let's take, you know what I'm saying?
I get that.
So like, I know you were saying about the whole, you wasn't gonna say about the agenda, but like, it's like I can understand your viewpoints, but then I can't understand somebody's viewpoints if they're coming at me saying, well, gay is wrong, this and that's just like, ooh, like,
no.
I can't hear you because you're already coming at me for something that, you know what I'm saying? Like that I can't control. So when once it gets there, it kind of like, that's where I tune out. But I feel like having a respectful conversations is just seeing my point and your point. Like, I like my homophobic people homophobic. If you want to be homophobic, I don't give a fuck. Like, and my thing is freedom of speech. Like, say what you want to say, but let me say what I'm gonna say too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. That's my whole thing.
But that's where I'm at with it too.
Yeah.
Right. From the other side of that, right? Because there's people that if a gay, like, it's usually like the conversation always goes like this: well, you're not gay, you can't talk about it. Well, you're not black, you can't talk about it. Okay, so don't talk to me. Don't pay attention to what I'm saying. But if we're gonna have a conversation about this, I would, like you said, love to have a debate. Like, yo, there's things that I don't like, but I don't hate you. But like I said, like I understand where people like, because I have seen comments, and once again, I don't stand with that. And I always tell my audience, like, I'm not with none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like if the drag show is 18 and up, I'm in there. Like, I don't care.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I've never been to a drag show.
I just like, once again, like, but those are things that I was like, yo, kids at drag shows. I mean, that's really happening because I used to be a security guard in Miami.
Shout out. Wait, are you from Miami?
Nah, I'm not from Miami. Okay. I lived out there for some time, and I had needed a job, and I started working as a security guard. And I worked as a security guard for a short term in a drag. It was a gay bar, but they had a lot of drag shows. Like, they had certain times, and I would be outside, making sure the drags don't, somebody don't try nothing funny. Right. But they would always have kids, and I think that a lot of Republicans and a lot of people that are religious, they don't like that, which I understand why they won't. I mean,
I understand why they won't either, but like, you're not going to tell me what I can and cannot do with my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an issue for me personally.
But that's when it becomes legislative, right? So like in Florida, they're like banning that stuff, right?
Unfortunately.
And then you have to pick a side. With like, yo, am I with that or against that? And for me, I'm like, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah,
for kids, but I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people would deny that kids are like involved or because I've seen many videos, right, where drags, they be behaving in a very sexual manner. Like, let me ask y'all this. This is my question to everybody that's either a part of. Would you consider you guys a part of the LGBTQ or support it?
Yeah, I'm gay, so there's that.
No, I mean, but you could be gay and not be a part of the LGBTQ.
No,
right?
I'm part of the LGBTQ.
Okay, cool. So would you say that like those things aren't happening?
I am. Chelsea, you answer first.
Yeah, sure. So I do feel like there is a lot of information being put in children's faces nowadays, especially like with certain cartoons or certain shows, certain movies. We didn't have those things before. Now, do I personally have a problem with it? No, because I feel like representation matters. And when you're able to learn about those things from a younger age, it doesn't seem so taboo. But then I also understand because some kids may take that and find a little bit of confusion with that. You may feel like, okay, well, what am I or what is this? But also, as you're growing up, you want to figure out who you are, what you like. But I do think parents should have the right to be like, I don't want my child to watch that. Or some parents will be like, yeah, I'm cool with that. Like, I feel like you can go either way. If I had a child, I wouldn't have a problem with them watching it because I would want to be able to have those open conversations about what they just watched, what to expect, or the different type of people they may meet or see. But I can also respect the parent that's like, no, maybe they're more religious, or maybe that's just not what they want for their child. And their child will get older and have to figure that out on their own. But, it can go two ways. So I respect both sides.
Yeah, I think that's the best, healthiest debate, honestly. I mean, like I said, like, I don't come across people like you guys, right? Most of the time, people are either, I had a couple Instagram posts where people are, violating, like F you, like, they're just mad about certain videos and stuff like that.
I can, so from, like, if I know you, so I don't think you're coming from that angle. That's why, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But from the outside looking in, it just looks.
Well, Dylan Mulvaney shouldn't be in a beer can.
Yeah, I think that was a bad choice.
Like, he shouldn't. Like, that was, first of all, you just became a girl or a woman. Like, there's mad drags you could have put on there that's been dragging for a minute.
I just know it's a bad business choice for Bud Light when your demographic is not LGBTQ. It's not that, yeah. Like, that was just a bad business move on their part.
But I guess that's where a lot of conservatives will be like, yo, they're trying to force it.
Yeah,
they're trying to force it because they're hiring people, right? The ESG. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, which is ESG overall, like companies like Open Society Foundation, which is like George Soros, which people say is a conspiracy, which is, he really does have a foundation where companies have to follow this ESG. They have to start forcing behaviors. So the forcing of behaviors will be like, oh, like, you can't be against Black Lives Matter. You can't be against the LGBTQ. You can't be against these things in America. So like BlackRock CEO said, yo, and BlackRock owns a lot, right? They own, like, they're like the head, right? That owns one company, that owns another, that ends up probably owning this building, but we don't know. But eventually, so I think that the forcing behaviors part of, you have to accept this part. I think that a lot of Americans overall, including like minorities too, because I think a lot of this is shaped like, man, just white people and white conservatives have a problem with this. Like, nah, bro. Like, I think all of us, we don't like that. We don't like the enforcing behaviors and stuff like that. But I don't have a problem with the LGBTQ. I think that anybody that has a problem with the flag, you're going too far with it, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think all that stuff, like that nitpicking part, I think that exists. Like, like I said, all this follows through to like a Juneteenth, right? Like, they have a problem with like Juneteenth. I don't have any problem with Juneteenth. Black people weren't free on July 4th, 1776. They want to celebrate their own, let them. Donald Trump, who everybody wants to hate, he said that this should be a national holiday. You know what I mean? I agree with that. I think that it should be. Like, I don't know why. So I think that a lot of people want to fight against progressive ideas too much. And I think that that's where I'm at. I'm not with that. I think that being too progressive is bad, but I think not being progressive at all is bad too. So that's why I think liberals and conservatives are needed, so they can balance out the scales and have these conversations overall.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I feel like if you can put everything on the table, put everything on the table. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with, liberals, I feel like it's, the whole, I do feel like some things could be over for children, but I don't think that we should, like the cartoons, like, I don't think that you should be fucking each other, but I do think having two dads in a cartoon isn't a bad fucking thing. If they're not, personally, because like, I don't feel like, so what is you?
I don't have, okay. I don't have two dads.
Speak your mind. What's up?
I'm gonna need a drink for this one. Okay. So you don't have a problem with two dads in a cartoon?
No.
And like two moms either, you know what I'm saying? Because they'll eventually see that.
Yeah. Well, they see it already. It's already,
in their life they will see that. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't know. Like, I just, like, it's a weird thing for me to see. Don't get me wrong, but like, I can see why people would be okay and what people wouldn't be okay.
I mean, I'm not saying I want them fucking, and I'm not saying I want them. I'm not even saying
but being gay is a sexuality. It's a sexual preference.
Okay.
Right. So it's like you're technically sexualizing like cartoons or children by like introducing them too early to like the LGBTQ.
I mean, I feel like it's
because that's a sexual preference.
I mean, but I also feel like it's the same thing as far as having a mom and a dad in a cartoon. I don't want them fucking either, but they're also in the same cartoon.
No, I don't think that fucking. I'm not talking about the fucking part. I'm talking about the overall generality of it. Like, oh, like being gay, it's a sexuality. Like, it's a sexual preference. Like, yo, eventually when I grow up, I'm gay. Right? I like fucking guys or some shit.
Right.
That's like some shit for like later on. I think that the family dynamic, and I think a lot of liberals get very mad at this word, but the nuclear family, I do believe that that's the most important thing. I think that was one of the things that held me back for a little bit, and held my brother back, and my father being in prison. I think that father and mother are needed. But, I'm also not against, I don't know, I'm not against a dad and a dad. I've seen conservative gay people, they take a lot of heat for this. Like, I stand with those people because they have good intentions.
Yeah.
It's just that the conspiracy start to
It's
happen.
the
Like, yo,
tone.
they're gonna make him gay, and
I mean, again, I personally, I was born gay. Like, I'm just saying from
that's another one.
So
you believe that you could be born gay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why would somebody choose?
But you do know that
to go through difficulties
that opens up the doors for like being born. Like you guys, so if you can make the argument that you could be born gay, then you could also make the argument that they're trying to make now, which is why a lot of people, and we're about to get crazy in this conversation, by the way, in a very respectful way, in the sense of where this is going to go. Because, and I don't mean any disrespect, and I hope that you don't take it that way, but if you're going to open up the doors for, oh, I could be born gay, then can you be born, like they say today, minor attracted, right? Which would be a pedophile 10 years ago. Today, they're trying to put it in the box where, you can't say that to these people. And that's who I think they're trying to protect when they give me these strikes, by the way, is minor attracted people who are pedophiles, who are child trafficking or fucking doing crazy sick shit. So I do believe that if you open up the doors for being gay, being born that way, then you now open up the doors for being born a killer. You can be born things that you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't that open up the door for that?
It may open the door for that, but I know from my personal experience as a Black gay man, I was born gay.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Don't want that. They don't even want to open that because once you open that door, you can't ever go back as a society.
I get what you're saying.
Because then now you open up the doors for people to make the arguments that you can be born minor attracted. That it's not like it shouldn't be a crime. It's something that this person was born as. So I don't know. I saw that somewhere and I was like, that's a great argument.
I'm not a pedophile and I'm not a killer, so I can't.
No, I'm not.
I'm
not trying to box you in that. I'm just saying that other people. Oh, that's what they're doing over there. Okay, let me sneak this little thing in.
From what I'm saying, I can only speak on my experiences. And personally, I've never liked girls. You know what I'm saying? Since I was younger.
Yeah.
Like I never had no sexual experiences where I was raped. I never had situations where something with a girl happened. Me and women just never worked out. And honestly, I feel like even I grew up Catholic. Like I prayed. My dad was very abusive. So even that, like I was trying to be straight. It just was not in my like it wasn't for me. Like yeah, not to get too deep, so I'll write my book. But I do feel like I would have liked as a child to see certain things like it's okay. Like I feel like sometimes I see a lot of different things and it's just like, damn, well, like it's shitting on me. I'm not saying it should be over sexualized. I feel like I agree with you in that point, but I do feel like, damn, like if I'm walking down the street and I hold my guy's hand, I gotta look and see like, damn, okay, I gotta make sure, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, the straight couple, you may not have to go through that. So I just feel like it should be a situation where like, it could be just a respect factor. Like you may not agree what I'm saying, or I may not agree what you're saying, but we both respect each other enough to not come at each other's like livelihood, if that makes sense.
1000%. I think that once again, going back to like my audience and like I don't respect anyone who just like flat out can argue for free speech and then like be totally against someone doing their First Amendment, right? Doing whatever it is, they're free. In America, you are free to do what you want.
Yeah.
Sexuality, whatever you want to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that once these people start going against like, two dads and all these different things, I stray away from those combos because I know how I feel and I make it very clear that I'm not against gay people whatsoever because I don't need to be.
Yeah.
Like I don't wake up like, oh, let me hate gay people. Like, no, bro, like live your life. Right? Do I have a certain biblical beliefs? Yeah, but it's like your relationship with God is with God. If you have one, if you don't, I respect it. I know I have my opinion, I have my beliefs. We keep it moving. Doesn't mean I won't shake your hand. Doesn't mean I won't have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
I think anybody that thinks otherwise, to me, in my opinion, once again, you're a little, you know what I'm saying? You a little off the edge, bro. You might need some help. Like you might really need to reevaluate, because I do think that there's a lot of conservatives out there and people in the same field. They have a lot of hatred for people that are against the Bible, all these different things. And that's, in my opinion, it's not the way it's supposed to be, bro. You're supposed to just let people have the free will that God gave them. And if they don't want to, believe what you want to believe.
Yeah, no,
cool.
I see hatred on both sides. So I can understand. We're a little over time. So before we like go into the fun stuff, I guess the last question of the night is, do you feel like liberals and conservatives can come to a common ground?
Ooh, I think they could come to common ground on a lot of topics, right? I think that, I don't know, because a lot of topics in the sense of like, I guess policy wise and right, different things. But I think that, when it comes to like a Trump when it comes to Biden, when it comes to 2024, I don't think that there is going to be much common ground, right? Because you're seeing a big separation right now. The more Donald Trump gets indicted, the more people are becoming more extremely, divided in the sense of he's a criminal. Oh, no, I don't believe he's a criminal. I believe this is. So I believe that in that regards, going into the election, I believe that this is going to be the most separated liberals and conservatives are going to be, because their guy, right, is getting prosecuted and getting hit crazy, right? Every other day.
Both, if I'm being honest.
No, but that's the thing. Is like America is showing interest in arresting one guy that's like leading the realm. He's leading the way for Republicans. He's like the guy that is leading the polls on the Republican side, and you see how they're going after him and stuff like that. So like I said, like a lot of people that love him are never gonna want to find common ground after that. They will never forgive America for this, right? People that used to be like pro cop are like, fuck that. Like y'all using what we loved, which is like the DOJ, the FBI, all the 3-letter agencies are like now against you, right? And like Donald Trump doesn't make it better because he says he doesn't make it better in the sense of like he be amping it, right? And as he should, right? He wants to be elected. He doesn't want to go through this. But I believe that is causing like massive separation and the LGBTQ stuff. Also, I don't know if there's going to be common ground there, right? I don't see a Candace Owens finding common ground with a liberal on like an LGBTQ topic, because these conservatives they make up their mind, and just like liberals, they can be very, very aggressive when they make up their mind. I'm good.
And that's where there goes a little left with the aggression. Because like if we're talking a nice, calm manner, and then he gets aggressive, then now, it's like that's
it's a lot of
because people are from different
on.
places. You know what I'm saying? So you just never really.
Yeah. Most of it is happening online though.
Yeah.
But I think that once you get closer to like 2024, I don't think it's gonna get like physical, but I do think it's gonna be like it's gonna be a lot of disagreements. And you got to understand, like the media does lean very left, and they're very anti-Trump. So it's like it's gonna be crazy. And I hope that it doesn't get, like I said, just ridiculously crazy. Because
I hope it's not. I hope it doesn't get dangerous, because that.
But that's the thing. I don't like 2016. They said that it's gonna get dangerous, and like if you're black, they're coming for you. It's not. Stop. Like I think that both sides are literally using propaganda to scare each other off. Right? White people think they're under attack constantly. I see it all the time. Like, black people
see that a lot.
Don't live next to black people because they're gonna kill you. And then you have like black people saying, "Yo, white supremacy." You have Biden getting up there. White supremacy is the biggest problem. They're gonna come for you type talk. When you talk to both sides, are literally scared of each other. They don't want to be near each other. They're like scared. They're hating each other. So that's the separation right there. I believe that that's why people are separated, because they don't see people going on the radio. Yo, I think Democrats and Republicans should come together. I haven't heard nobody say that. I actually haven't heard anybody say, yo, we should end the war. We did that war in Ukraine. We should end that. Right? All these different talks, people not talking like that. So I think that there's not enough of that. And there's just, yo, we got to take these guys down. And yeah, to each his own. It becomes very tribal. And I think that politics is very dangerous when
actually, I mean, that's why I want you on the show. Because like our listeners are very, I don't know what the fuck they are.
All over the place.
So
people of all kinds.
Yeah, of all different countries. So I just wanted to just kind of, because I feel like you're like your supporters were a little much. So I just wanted to just have you come in here and just get your standpoint, get your understanding of how you feel about certain things. Yeah. But we're gonna go to Lamark's corner.
Let's do it.
Shit, that was
spicy.
Lamark's corner, where I answer all the questions you guys send me, advice, shade, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, question number 1. Could you date someone who has a different political view?
No.
Okay.
She has to be extremely conservative, because I don't want my girl to be liberal about anything. Yeah.
This is fun.
Nah, I mean, I'm really kidding, but then I'm not. I don't know. I love a conservative woman overall, like socially conservative, not like politics. But if she does believe in different politics.
How would you describe a socially conservative woman? What does that mean?
Someone that doesn't party, doesn't wear crazy stuff, like doesn't wear, and by crazy stuff I mean like very seductive stuff. Like, girls love to go out every other weekend and stuff like that. If my girl's not doing that and she's at home, and I want a home wife, get your eyes in the kitchen, do your work.
Interesting.
Very misogynistic, right?
I
hate him. He's a misogynist. I knew it.
Look, man, I didn't say anything. I just your views.
I mean, look, if that's what I prefer, that's just me. That's just me. It doesn't have to be you.
Yeah, I mean, for a hookup, no. I guess no. Yeah.
So your girl can't go out with her friends at all?
Nah, she could have some fun and go out, but if she starts to do it too much, I start doing it. Especially if her friends are like single and stuff. I do believe that in single influence. Like even with guys, like if you're hanging out with guys and they're all single, bro, like they don't have the same interests as you, which is to be loyal and to hold it down. Like they're on some like, yo, where's the next joint? Where can we go? And what can we do? And I believe that, if you hang out with too many single people, eventually the temptations will start to show up. As a man, you have to make the decision whether you're going to do it or not. It's not their fault. You have to be a man enough to like reap, you have to like, you can't want a woman, right? Like, oh, I want a woman that goes in the kitchen and does her thing and she stays home and all of these different things. Eventually we're going to have kids. And then I don't do my part, right? My part would be like provide and, provide and, ensure her that I'm the guy and that I could fight off temptations and all these different things. I think that's the number one thing for guys, temptations.
Yeah, I can agree with
temptations.
That. Yeah.
Is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Next question. Have you ever fantasized about someone else during sex?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
fantasizing about somebody else during sex is crazy. Like what?
Yeah, it was a rough night.
Yeah,
it was a rough night.
Yeah, it was a rough.
Yeah. Both of y'all have?
Yeah.
Okay, I have not. I don't got time to be fantasizing, man. If I'm inside of a woman, I don't got time to like, oh, let me think about this other. Like, what?
No, that's not how it is though. It just be happening. You're like,
yeah,
you see a different face.
I don't see a different face.
Not a different face.
Oh,
yeah. It's like
just to get me off. Like I'm here. You're not doing it for me, and I just need
right when you are exploring something with someone new for the first time, and you don't really know what to expect.
Yeah,
you can't really control the fact that like you're not really enjoying that as much. Well, all you can control is being like, hey, this isn't working out.
Yeah, but it's definitely a one and done.
Yeah,
because
clearly that only happens if things aren't going well with that person at that time, like sexually or overall, right? You start thinking about a good time.
Yeah, I just like for me, it was just the first time we did something. It just didn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, when you just don't have that connection.
Yeah,
you're like, dang.
Yeah, now I'm stuck.
Yeah, like then it hits you like, damn. I remember, XYZ.
Yeah. What are some life lessons you wish you learned before your late 20s?
Don't chase the cloud. Let the cloud come to you.
Can you dive a little deeper into that?
Just doing things for money, right? Like kind of going off course, like going against your moral values and who you are as a person, just for some views or a check. I think that I did that a couple of times in my YouTube career, and I think that that was the biggest lessons I learned. Is like, but you live and you learn. So I think that maybe if I would have known that sooner, I would have never, I guess, dated girls or done dickhead shit. But I think that because I went through that, I'm able to like be here, you know what I'm saying, as a grown adult, and I can say I know better now.
So, yeah, because the last time you said you were singing, right?
Yeah, but I still sing, but that's not like I could do, like I could drop a song and I think people will appreciate it, but that's not my main focus. My main focus is just different things now. But yeah, I was definitely
in the
YouTube stratosphere in the sense of like drama, and I think that I learned from that. I really did learn from that. And
any names?
I don't need to drop no names. Shout out to them though. Shout out to them. I mean, I hope they're doing good. Shit.
I knew you were gonna ask that.
I hope they're doing good.
Next question. So my cousin is currently staying with me due to financial issues, and he's been here for about a month. How do I get him to leave without being a bitch?
Oh, you wanna go first?
I would say, I mean, if they financially don't have it, like maybe helping them figure out their next steps, like showing that you care, but letting them know like you can't help accommodate them anymore. You just gotta be honest.
Bro, get that motherfucker out of there, bro. You gotta go, bro. Like simple as that. Give them $100 and all right, skedaddle. I mean, the problem is like people take advantage of other people all the time, so you gotta go, bro.
I'll have a conversation. We have to have a plan. Like you can't. We have to like a move out date. You got to figure out something, buddy.
Yeah,
like kind of like that, but you have to be aggressive with it. Like, bro, it's time to go. Because some people they don't speak up in the sense of like letting somebody know, like, yo, bro, it's time to get up out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's a funny way, say it in a funny way, but then hopefully they start planning it out. If they don't, they gotta go. Like,
I don't know, that's right.
All right, so now we have questions we ask every guest, and the first one is your love life.
My love life. I'm currently in a relationship for about 2 years now, the longest I've ever had a relationship for.
Nice.
It's a battle. It's a mental battle each and every day.
Mhm.
Yeah, just trying to get better in the sense of learning
Okay.
overall, because I think that's all you can do in a long-term relationship. So yeah.
Freakiest thing you ever done?
Freakiest thing I ever done.
How do conservatives get freaky? I'm interested.
That's the thing. I wouldn't fully consider. I wouldn't consider myself a conservative because I have done a lot of bad shit in my life, and I think that conservatives deserve a lot more respect than a guy like me. But I do lean that way. As far as the freakiest thing I ever done, man, that's a great question. Don't answer it. Nah, I got it. I've eaten a girl's ass outside before on some wild Miami night.
How about that?
Okay.
That was a tough time in my life, very dark place, and I was doing very dark things like that, just bugging out, things I'm not proud of today, doing that right outside after the club. So that was the freakiest, nastiest shit I've ever done that I would never do again. By the way, it's just I regret it. But as a conservative guy who wants to be a Christian, may God forgive me for all my sins.
Respect.
Yeah. Favorite position.
That's how you make a confession. Eh?
Favorite position.
Oh, favorite position. I would say missionary. I think that missionary is very important, especially if you're in a relationship. I think it has to be done. But damn, doggy style is pretty good too. But I don't know, bro.
We only have one more.
The side position is tough. That's really amazing.
That's a hitter.
I think that's dope.
No pun intended. I mean, pun intended.
Freak number 1 to 10. What would you give yourself?
I'm definitely not a freak no more.
Oh my god.
I'm not no more in the sense of like I just I'm so focused that shit is whenever it comes. So I'm like a 4.5 now.
Wow.
Back in the day though, definitely a 10 is all I could think about. At 26, I just don't think about it like that no more.
Yeah.
That shit happens, man.
He don't want to be a freak.
And on that note, Chelsea, it's time for what the fuck happened this week.
Oh, man.
Hi guys, welcome to What the Fuck Happened This Week. I'm glad that you brought up Trump earlier because that's exactly what I wanted to talk
Trump
about.
Trump 2024. Let's go. You voted for him, right?
Let's go. Everybody said that. But let's talk about all these charges against him, from the wire and mail fraud to tampering with the witness, victim, and informant, conspiring to make false statements, obstruction of an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to deprive people of their rights. How are you feeling about this? You feel like it's all fake news?
Nah, I don't feel that way. I mean, a lot of people feel that way, but this is how I feel it. In the United States of America, which a lot of liberals tend to forget, is you are innocent until proven guilty. And I think that Trump walks around with a guilty title, right? Because what happened to him is his character has been assassinated since the moment he ran for president. Right, a lot of people went from loving him to, oh, we got to attack this guy now because he's the opposition now. And for me, look, if he's guilty of all that, F it, right? It is what it is. I do believe that these things are very motivated by politicizing the DOJ, the FBI. And once again, like I do believe that there is a motive to go after him because there's all those charges that you're reading. You can turn that around, either charge Biden with that, charge Hillary, right? Charge Clinton, charge Obama. Done a lot of things that definitely a lot of people don't talk about because they're so focused on him being, the first black president, things like that. So I do believe that a lot of presidents have done a lot of bad things, but I just have, I think that if Trump is guilty and found guilty, then it is what it is. But as of right now, look, man, if y'all can prove that, and if y'all gonna go after him and actually be successful, then it is what it is. But they've been going after him for a very long time. For me, I just ask myself, why are they going after him this bad? Because when he had the chance,
that's been shown though, like we've seen
what proof?
We've seen the proof that he took classified documents from the White House. They were in Mar-a-Lago. No,
he was president.
Oh no, he was no longer president. You took
files,
important files from the White House. Your presidency was over, and you decided, oh yeah, let me bring that back with me to the crib in Florida.
I do believe that he should have turned them in when he was asked to. He didn't do it. I do believe that Trump does a lot of dickhead shit. I do believe that a lot of the people that he's also around don't always give him the best advice. So I do believe that there is proof of that. But once again, his argument is that he was president and he had the chance to declassify them, even though he never officially said, I declassified these documents. So, hey, fair is all by chance. I mean, once again, I'm not going to be that guy that goes to a podcast. Oh, but look at what Biden did. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, all eyes are on Trump. But for me, as someone with common sense, is just ask yourself why.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they going after this guy so badly? What does he oppose that the United States doesn't want anyone to oppose?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of answers will get questioned. I mean, a lot of questions will get answered. That.
Do you feel he's responsible for January 6th?
I don't feel he's responsible for January 6th. I think January 6th was idiotic by a lot of people who felt they got something stolen from them, right? Because they felt like the election wasn't fair. And then there was a lot of people who didn't agree with that. And looking back at it, I can understand why I didn't agree with that. To call it an insurrection and to say that he, you know, because they're going to charge him with that, obviously. If I'm not mistaken, there's 16 charges on that for him. He's also going to get indicted right now in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Atlanta.
So there's going to be about 5 indictments in the last 5 months. But as far as January 6th goes, I don't think he incited that. I think that he led people to get mad and to be just like he's doing it now. Like, yo, they stole this from us. We got to get America back. We got to get America back. All these different things. So I do think that a lot of the things that he does say does get a lot of people riled up. And I think that people love him more than they should. You should never idolize somebody like he's Jesus. And I think that a lot of people who do that are cringe. But I do think that he has a point. I think that in this country, election integrity has to be questioned. I think that, you know, he had the lead at 3 a.m, 2 a.m, 2:15, and then around 3:50, almost 4 o'clock, that drastically just changed. So it's good to question it. But once again, he questioned it. He failed. He lost those cases. So it is what it is. Like, I think that he was mad and a lot of people were mad. But when he went on CNN, he proved that within the time he told everybody to stop. And also, like, I don't know if you guys pay attention to like the Congress under oath hearings. There was over 53 FBI agents who were in the crowd maneuvering. And it's been proven that they were escalating the riots they were leading people into places. And there was a lot of proof that came out to show that January 6th was low key, like one of those events where there's a lot of inside plants. Mm-hmm. And it's been proven under oath. But I think that a lot of people have bad intentions as well. So I don't know. I think that people are very passionate. They love Trump. They didn't want him to lose, and he lost. And, you know, January 6th, I can't say that he was like responsible for that. I wouldn't say that. And I think that anyone who says that, in my opinion, you're wrong.
Right.
Because there's videos of him telling people to go home, texting people, you know, and people just started going next level nuts. But I don't think like an insurrection, you know what an insurrection is? Like, insurrection is what people have the Second Amendment in this country. You know what I'm saying? Like, people would have shown up and started clapping and wilding and tweaking and really trying to take over the government. That is not an insurrection. This is a bunch of dickheads.
Do you feel like jail time was needed?
That's a great question. Here's why that's a great question. Because for me, the way I look at it, like, there was people that got jail time for just walking around, but it wasn't after Tucker Carlson, who a lot of people hate, got on Fox, right? Which is Fox also promotes a lot of propaganda for the right too. Don't get me wrong, but he got on there and he showed proof that Jacob Chansley, right? Just for example, he was the QAnon shaman dude that had the crazy. He was all over. Whenever you spoke about the insurrection, he's the guy that shows up.
Yeah, he
was walking around with permission. Nobody was doing nothing to him. He was praying. He even led a prayer. Like, he led a prayer with cops. He was, you know, brought from office to office. If that footage would have never been shown, he would have been in prison still to today. So I do believe that a lot of people have been falsely charged, but I do believe that a lot of people have been charged correctly, a lot, and they should, because you shouldn't have done that. First of all, you shouldn't fall for the bait that way.
Yeah,
they're opening the doors, they're opening things after the rally and stuff like that. But once again, that just goes to show like people that either follow Trump or Trump himself can be a dickhead sometimes. And I think that that's dumb. You don't do that. You got to play chess. And I think that if you know that the media is against you, don't do it. Don't fall for the bait.
Right.
So that's just my opinion with that.
No, my cousin was actually there. She was a congresswoman.
Oh, wow. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that day had a lot of people scared.
She was good.
Okay. Good.
So
my last question for you,
because
that was crazy. I didn't agree with any of that, and I think everybody should.
But here's the thing. All right, so let me push back on that, because I understand what you're saying with that. And by the way, I was one of those people that was out there on BLM during BLM. there was a lot of looting. And I was there during the looting and stuff like that. And I was outside during all the stuff. They're actually paying people $13 million, by the way, in New York. The BLM rioters, they're paying them for being, brutally arrested and all these different things. So, like, what do you think about those people? Like, those people, a lot of them, some of them went to jail, but a lot of them didn't. And they looted stores that in the name of George Floyd. Like, what George Floyd had to do with Foot Locker? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, and I was there. Like, my hood, like right outside my hood in East Tremont, they was looting it up. Cops had to let it happen because they wasn't trying to attack. And even with the people they attacked, you saw how much money they have to pay now. So I don't know. I believe that there's a big difference or a two-tier justice system right now that's a lot of people see. I see it. I know because I know the type of ish that's going on in my hood. I'm like, they're going to have to Trump for that. Like, that was a misdemeanor here. Like, I know a couple people that got away with that. So it's like certain things that I see, I'm like, oh. So I don't know. But that was my pushback for it. So I think a lot of people that are looting on BLM and stuff like I thought that was much worse what they did to the country than a little small, trying to go into the Capitol, which I thought was bad. But I don't think in the last 3 years, I don't think that it was as bad as BLM. I thought that BLM was crazy, in my opinion. Because I was outside and I was tweaking. I wasn't looting. I'm not gonna snitch on myself and be like, I was the guy. But I was there. I was looking. I even live streamed one of them. It's like, wow, these people are really tweaking right now. My people tweaking right now.
And on that note, we're gonna reel it back. We're gonna reel it back in.
But thank you so much for
that was my pushback. Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
Lou, thank you for coming, giving your insight.
Appreciate
this was
that,
definitely a different show. But I feel like it was a much needed show.
Yeah. Like this is actually my first time really getting to sit down and have a conversation with someone who has differing views.
Political views.
Yeah, and it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you this. Well, some people are extreme. But I can sit in a room with somebody, have different viewpoints, but still respect where you're coming from. You're not out here trying to hurt nobody. You're not out here trying to, shoot them up, bang, bang, whatever. You're just doing your thing. You're respectable. So
I'm very liberal on a lot of things, and I'm conservative on other things. And I think that a lot of people are that way. They just don't really talk about it. But when they do, I'm pretty sure we can find common ground on a lot of things.
Last thing, what do you feel about guns in school?
Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
Because like the gun thing, like they feel like gun reform. How do you feel about that?
Because of all the mass shootings going on. Are you supportive of the NRA or?
So I support the Constitution. Here's why I support it. I used to be the Constitution. Who do you think you are? You're not white, bro.
The right to bear arms.
You got to understand, right? And I'm not gonna be that long with this. Most minorities are in extremely liberal cities, right? Who are against the Second Amendment. So a lot of minorities and a lot of Black and Hispanic people, they don't get to enjoy their Second Amendment. So they don't know how important it is to be able to carry a weapon. To have that's your right, God-given right. Cool, right? So a lot of people, when you have these conversations, they're like, yo, like guns is bad because of what we see. Because usually the most, hard-on laws and most liberal cities have the most crime with guns. They have the most crimes. Also, when they say that, shootings with guns are the leading cause of kids, which they always say liberals, that's a talking point. You got to understand, they're including 18 and 19-year-old kids who are in gangs constantly shooting each other. And I know because I grew up around these people. And I know what's up. I know my guys. They tweaking out there. I know what's going on. So for me, I'm against people trying to infringe on the Second Amendment in the sense of they feel that that's the problem majority of the time. For me, I'm like, oh, no, bro. Like, the gun doesn't shoot itself. People shoot those guns. Why are people doing it? Do we want to figure that out? Or we just want to completely ban guns? Right? That's how in my opinion, I'm against communism. I'm against all of that stuff. And I believe that that's like the first step, few steps. You ban the guns, you ban the people's rights to guns and all that stuff. And you start bringing in, enforcing things little by little. You start enforcing because you don't no longer have the fear of a revolution. By the way, that's what the Second Amendment is there for. If the government starts to tweak out and starts infringing on all your rights and you don't like it, you can fight back. That was what the Second Amendment was there for. A lot of people feel like America has changed too much to even have a Second Amendment, but I don't know. I'm not against guns. I'm against people that have a gun or, start using it in the wrong way, bro. Because I grew up with a lot of people that have access to these guns, and most of the time they have it when they're not supposed to. And it doesn't happen mostly when people are supposed to be not supposed to be using it. Usually it happens when people are not supposed to be using it, is what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I'm against people going into and shooting children. I believe that that's wrong. And I do believe that I understand why people have a big stand on why you shouldn't have guns. I get it, but I believe that that's not the way. In my opinion.
Yeah. And on that note, it's been a very interesting show.
Thanks so much for joining.
Please let people know where they can follow you, where they can spew their opinions.
Well, we're on strike 2 on YouTube, but you can follow me on YouTube at Lou Valentino and Rumble at Lou Valentino. And I don't use Instagram like that, but yeah, everything at Lou Valentino should be able to find me.
Okay.
All right, and thank you so much for coming.
Appreciate y'all. This was good. I was able to talk to some good people today, so I appreciate y'all, man.
Thanks for stopping by, and thank you guys for coming too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you. All right, and we're out.
All right.